Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, so today I'm going to talk about what it's like to play against a certified beast. I'm not talking about playground legend. I'm not talking about a guy that's just a really good player, but just sort of at a recreational level. No, I'm talking about NBA All-Star. I'm talking about this guy in particular was uh, number 2 or number 3. I think he finished second in the NBA MVP voting one year, and his name is Gus Williams. He played for several teams, but the team that he kind of made his reputation anyway was the Seattle Supersonics. And he came in the league with the Warriors in 75 or 76, was there until like maybe 77, and then was with the Sonics till 84, and then finished up with the Bullets. Actually, he finished up with the Hawks for like half a season or something like that. But anyway, we're from the same hometown, Mount Vernon, New York, and I had a chance to play against him and also with him on several occasions. Probably the first time I ever saw him play was probably somewhere like summer of '79. It was probably right after they won the series against the Bullets. Like he came out to the playground, and I saw him play there. I mean, I had seen a little bit of him on TV, but I was not a big basketball fan back then, or basketball guy. So I was aware of him, but it wasn't like I was like, oh my God, I have to stop what I'm doing, and just watch him, play. But at any rate, first time I ever played against him was spring of '83. Yeah, I was just about to turn 17, and I think they had just lost in the playoffs to the Spurs, because I remember he was back home, but I hadn't turned 17 yet. Like the season ended earlier then, because it began earlier. I think NBA season started, I think like late October back then, and there were less playoff series then. Anyway, so now by this time I was a huge fan, and so to see him out there on the court right in front of me warming up, just shooting around and all that, I mean, I was kind of mesmerized. And I remember that he wasn't even wearing basketball gear. He had just come from playing tennis. So he was wearing a tennis shirt and like some Adidas Stan Smith tennis shoes or something like that. If you remember those, which was funny because he was under contract with Nike at the time. But I'm pretty sure from what I remember, he was not wearing Nike. But anyway, yeah, and so it was weird because it was a half court game. Like normally we would play full court, but for whatever reason, we only played half court. There must have been some issue with the other basket. But it was outdoors. It was at West 4th Street Playground in Mount Vernon, not the one in the Village. Okay, no. And so, I mean, it's, Gus, right? So he's home. A lot of Cassidy knows are, there in the park. And I'm excited, and I'm like, I want that fade. So I think I had to wait a game, and then there I am on the court playing against Gus Williams, who's in his prime. Like, Gus was probably 28 at the time. I'm something like that. So, this is prime Gus, okay? And of course, nobody gets to guard him except me. All right. So I'm like, yeah, I got to get this fade. So at that time, I had really developed my jump shot to the point where I was deadly at that point. And I was big. I mean, for my age, I was 6'2". I was about $185. I was actually bigger than Gus was, in terms of weight. But we were probably the same height then, like probably 6'2", maybe 6'2.25". But anyway, now I'm like 6'3.5". But yeah, so the game starts, and it's Gus, yo. I mean, it's Gus. It's like, yeah. Just, he seems so lean, like I should be able to just muscle him. But, in order to do that, you have to be able to, touch him. And that is a lot tougher than it looks. Lightning quick, deceptive though also. A lot of hesitation with just a crazy burst, long arms, quick hands. And I don't remember much about the game, because it's been years and years. But I remember him just taking me off the bounce, seeming like any time. And so I'm like, oh man, okay, well, let me just back up a little bit. So I back up a little bit, and he just pulls up, stapap, from maybe 18 feet, maybe 20. Now, when I have the ball, I can shoot, right? But I'm so jacked up, I'm so amped that I'm playing against Gus that I'm literally shooting air balls. I mean, I'm not just missing shots, I'm legit air mailing shots because I'm so excited that I just can't calm down. And I'm telling myself, come on, Lee, breathe, calm down. Just, it's just any other game. It's just another game. Just play your game. Air balls, man. I'm so mad because I'm like, I can shoot better than this. I mean, in my mind, I'm like, I should be busting this dude's ass. You know what I mean? Because I know he's Gus, but we're the same, size, and I'm quick also. I mean, I'm not that quick, but I'm quick enough, big enough, and I have enough game that if I could just play my game, I could do something against them, right? Well, anyway, they're ahead, but at one point I'm like, man, this is nuts. I have to play better. So I'm like, okay, I need to penetrate against Gus. So it's isolation, and as long as I live, I will never forget this. It was an isolation. I had the ball, top of the key, extended to the right. Ball's in my right hand, and I just go. Pew. Now, when I get baseline, he's still there. right? But I'm like, you know what? He will gamble here. And I knew it. So what I did was I sort of baited him a bit, and he bit just a little bit, and then I kind of like reverse pivoted on him, got my body into him, sealed him off, and then laid it up, right? So it was a big boy move. And like the whole court was like, oh damn, that was all right, youngster. You know what I mean? Like everybody watching, I mean, like Gus was, killing me. But that move was kind of like, hey, young fella's not intimidated. I mean, he's amped, but he's not intimidated. And that was actually like a real live move. So I think that was the only basket that I scored that game. And we played like 32, like so I'm thinking we must have lost like maybe 32-20 or something like that. But it was just the body control, and then one time, I remember this. One time he like started out right, okay, and I was there on him. Then he comes back left a bit, and I'm there. So like I'm like, oh, okay, good. So then he comes back right. Now he's out somewhere past the top of the key, okay. So I'm feeling pretty good. Like, well, he's not gonna shoot it from here. I mean, remember this is 1983, right? So he goes back right and kind of like turns his back to me and gives me like shimmy back this way. So I bite a bit, then he comes back the other way and just elevates. And now it seems to me like we both elevated at the same time. But he went up, I went up, but then I start to come down, and he is still, it's like he's levitating. It's like he just like levitated and then just push. And I looked, I was like, and like the whole park just went nuts. I mean, it was pandemonium because it was just like a vicious move. And the finish with the shot. I mean, like he shot from what would have been, that was probably like a 3 with like me pretty much on him, but yet his ability to just separate was just sick. So anyway, I have some other Gus tales. Yeah, but for now, that's it. Anyway, that's this first story time about my battles in quotes with the great Gus Williams. Oh man. All right, y'all. Later.